Sheikh, I was traveling today by train and there was a dog who touched my prayer mat with his nose and mouth, and that prayer mat came into contact with my shirt. I don't know whether the prayer mat got wet or not due to his saliva. Also, I'm not sure whether that same area of the prayer mat that came into contact with my shirt. So after I reached my home country, I forgot about this and I prayed Maghrib wearing that same shirt. So should I repeat Maghrib now and combine it with Isha?
Well, let me ask you this. You said your prayer mat when you were in the train was soiled with water or saliva or what?
There was a dog. He touched the prayer mat with his mouth and nose. But I don't know whether it was.
طيب, let me answer your question. What is najis for certain about the dog is the saliva. So if a dog touched or licked the prayer mat with his mouth and tongue, then that spot which is moist with the saliva of the dog is najis and it needs to be washed 7 times as we explained in the hadith. Only this part which is soiled or moist with the saliva of a dog. And one of the prerequisites of any prayer is at-tahara, the purity. And the purity entails the purity of the spot on which you're praying, and the purity of the body through the ghusl or wudu, and the purity of one's clothes. So if a person did not know that this prayer mat is not clean, or the spot on which he is praying is not tahir, or the clothes that he is wearing are not pure, and he has finished the prayer is valid and he or she doesn't have to redo the prayer. But if the person realized after he or she prayed that I didn't have wudu, my body is not tahir, then you will have to make wudu and repeat and redo the prayer. Where do you get this from? From the incident in which the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam took off his boots in the middle of the prayer and he kicked them away. Then after the prayers, he notes that the Sahaba have done like him. He said, why did you take off your khuf, boots and shoes? They said, because we saw you, so we thought it has been abrogated and it's not permissible to pray in the shoes anymore. He said, none of that has happened. Jibreel rather came to me and informed me that the sole of my shoes had some impurities, so I had to remove them. Which means the part of the prayer in which he was praying while his shoes were on and having impurities was still valid because he didn't know. Had he known, the prayer will be invalid. So if from the beginning you're praying on a place which you know that it is, have to redo it. And if you didn't know, or if you knew but you have forgotten, then the prayer is valid if you remembered after you concluded the prayer. The prayer is valid and you don't have to do it. Redo it again.